Hello, everyone. Dr. Mister of Soul and Read Physical Therapy. I'm gonna give you guys probably a minute before we get started to get signed in or logged in, and we're having our discussion today with Danielle Pennywell about yoga, and super excited to talk with her. So we get started in another 30 seconds or so. Let's see. All right, so we'll get started in another about 15 seconds. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. If I'm sounding raspy, I apologize, y'all. It's just ah, I'm fine. I just lost my voice on Friday, but we're here. We're gonna get this done. Okay, so let's get this started. So again, I'm Dr. Mister of Soul and Read Physical Therapy, and we are ready to introduce yoga. Like I've been having a lot of discussions with my patients, and a lot of them are interested in yoga. They want to increase their flexibility. So I was like, I'll be on the lookout for someone. And then I met Danielle. And so we connected and we communicated, and it's like, all right, let's give it a try. So that's exactly why we're here today, to discuss it and then make a huge announcement at the end. Okay. So here's her bio. Danielle Pennywell began practicing yoga and meditation over 20 years ago. In 2018, she completed her 200-hour yoga teaching training in Louisiana Yoga School. And in 2022, she completed her 300-hour yoga teaching training in ULU Yoga School. Her passion for teaching mindfulness and body awareness shines through during her classes, which are dedicated to creating a safe and welcoming space for yogis of all levels to explore and grow. Whether guiding a first time yogi or an experienced yogi, she helps each student build deeper awareness of their body, mind, and spirit, and they find peace, balance, and strength within. Danielle is a Baton Rouge native, and when she is not teaching yoga, she enjoys spending time with her husband and sons, hiking, cooking, and watching really bad reality TV shows. Her words, not mine. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring Danielle up. How are you?
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Mister. I just want to let everyone know that I started off as a patient. So that is how we met, and she's amazing at what she does. So I just wanted to make that note, of course. And yes, I do love really bad reality TV.
It makes life fun. It's a switch up, right? Like monotony.
Hiking or reality TV. The more bad it is, the more I love it. So
oh no. So what's your favorite? Like, what do you watch?
Right now I'm watching Married at First Sight and Survivor. I love Survivor. I would go on Survivor. I have auditioned. They will not accept me, but maybe one day y'all will see me on Survivor. But that's my favorite. I like Big Brother. That'll be starting soon too.
Okay, all right. Well, if you ever make it on Survivor, then y'all seen her first here. So there you go.
I remember all the little people.
I love it. Oh my gosh. All right. So we're going to get started talking about yoga. Okay. So Danielle, what exactly is yoga?
That's a great question. And that's usually the first question that I get. There are so many misconceptions about what yoga is. People think that yoga is about deep stretching and really getting your muscles flexible. And it's honestly not. That can be a benefit of yoga, but that's not the purpose of yoga. So yoga is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit is an ancient language. It's not really used as much anymore, but it originated in India. The word yoga means union. So to unite or to yoke. Yoga has been used for thousands of years by various cultures to help them bring that mind, body, and soul connection. So what you do in yoga is you practice it so that you can build that mind, body, soul connection. It helps you tap deeper into your awareness and really get that understanding. Anytime we want to do anything with our bodies, the first step is to really be able to identify it ourselves, to build that awareness ourselves. So if we go to the doctor and we say, oh, my stomach's hurting, the first thing the doctor's going to ask is where. And so many of us are so untapped into our body that we can't even really pinpoint where we're hurting in our tummy. Is it our stomach? Is it lower down? Is it something in our reproductive organs? Where is it? Is it a pain? Is it a pulling? And I'm sure Dr. Mister, as a physical therapist, when you're asking people, is it a pulling pain? Is it people,
Yes.
they have
Yes.
trouble describing it, and that starts with awareness. So that's really what yoga is to help you build awareness in any area that you want. Your yoga practice is going to be unique for you, and it's going to be your own practice led by you.
Gotcha. So actually, let's go a little background on you. So how did you get into yoga? Like, what was your start?
So my start with yoga was my sister took yoga class when she was, I think, a junior in high school. And of course, she's my big sister. Anything she does, I want to do. So one day she said, "Hey, let me practice this meditation technique on you." And I'm like, "Sure, I'll be your test dummy." I lay down and she goes through this guided meditation for me. And I grew up in a house with 5 brothers and sisters, tons of cousins, a very busy house. That was the most calm, peaceful, and relaxed I have felt probably in my entire life. Now, I was only 14, so
Got it. Wow.
how much chaos could I have? But it was really the most peaceful and calming thing. And so from there on, I started to tap into that meditation technique to help me go to sleep at night. And from then on, I could do it without even doing the visualization. I could just tap into making myself quiet my mind. And once I became a teacher, I learned that I wasn't really quieting my mind. I was just focusing my awareness past my mind, because your mind is only one part of your whole being. You have your spirit and you have your physical self as well. You have your heart, your emotions. Your mind is just one part of it. So if you can focus your awareness past it, then you can really tap into something deeper.
Gotcha. All right. So
meditation. As far as the asana part, which is the poses and the postures, I got started through that after I had my first baby. I had a C-section. And as you know, they separate your muscles, which afterwards, a lot of people lose the mind-body connection to their muscles. I couldn't lift my legs off the ground. I had no connection to my lower abs. And I'm researching. And I looked and it said, learn yoga. They teach you the mind-body connection. So I started doing yoga that way. And that's what got me into it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's cool. So you brought the pelvic floor into that. So that, that's awesome. All right.
But I connected so much with you because that's how I got started. And it's like, now I found a specialist who can really go deeper and help me figure out what my deeper issues are. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without yoga, without realizing, well, I know everything I can. Now I need someone to help me figure out what's going on internally.
Gotcha. All right. So how exactly do you practice yoga? Like, what are the steps for that?
So practicing yoga is just a practice of tapping in. And there are plenty of ways to do it. You can do it through breathing exercises that we call pranayama. You can do it through meditation, or you could do it through the asana practice, which is the postures. All of the postures that we do in yoga are really intended to help you become more comfortable in your body so that you can meditate for sustained periods. And whatever your meditation seat is, that's what we want you to get comfortable in it. Some people can have their meditation seat be a full lotus where both of their, toes are like this. Some people's meditation seat is going to be sitting in a chair. Some people's meditation seat might be laying down. And that's what yoga does. It helps you realize that there is not any one size fits all practice for anybody when it comes to anything. So it really helps you understand what's right for you. And once you get comfortable in what your limits are right now, then you can work on pushing your limits further. So if you can't even be comfortable laying still, then of course you're not going to be comfortable in a full lotus, because that's going to take even more concentration. So we work on the body that you have now, the mind that you have now, practicing stillness with that. And if you want to increase flexibility, increase the amount of time you're meditating, then you practice for that.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you have to be flexible to do yoga? Like, a lot of people are like,
you do not have to be flexible to do yoga. Now, you do have to be flexible to go to some yoga classes. And that is one of the things that you want to be very certain about before you take a yoga class. Read in about the bio of the teacher, read in about the description of the class, because each yoga class is going to be just as unique as each teacher and each student. So some will be very flexibility for it. Some will be doing inversions where you're doing headstands and handstands. Some you're going to need a lot of upper body strength, or their power yoga. But as far as my classes, you don't need to be anything to come to my classes except a person. Anybody can practice my classes, because with yoga and true yoga, like I call it, the yoga that's really dedicated to that mind-body awareness, that mind-body focus and connection, that's going to modify and adjust for each person. So even if we're doing a pose, that doesn't mean that you need to get in the same shape as me, or the same shape as you, or the same shape as the person next to you. We will talk about all the adjustments, all the modifications that you can do. And when you're in a class with me, I'm also going to help you get into a position that is more comfortable, more aligned with the body that you have right now. Some people are very hyper flexible, which I'm sure you know about, and they think that because they can go so far that they should. And that's another thing in yoga. My yoga classes that I teach, just because you can do it, it does not mean that you should, because if you don't have the muscle strength, then you could be weakening your joints by going into those deep stretches without preparing everything for it.
Absolutely. That is the truth. That is so true. And so actually too, you were mentioning like making sure everybody's in proper position. So with us, like you'll get that PT and that yoga mindset together to make sure clients are in the right position. And then I'll be bringing in, like the pelvic floor awareness, hey, making sure, just giving little cues along the way. And
exactly,
that we connected. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of the great things, because people think that the scope of a yoga teacher is to do that. And I've had to tell even some of my students in the past that, okay, that's out of my scope. You need to go and see a physical therapist or go see a doctor to see if there's some deeper muscular issue, some deeper bone issue, some deeper issue that you're having that is not in my scope. And so having a physical therapist there when doing a class, that really does help students learn not to go past their limit just because they want to impress the teacher or want to impress the students in the class, because you're not going to let them.
Absolutely. Hypermobility is not good, like you said. I'm sorry, there was a little delay there. So okay, so the next question, what should you wear to a yoga class?
So you should dress comfortably. I think, of course, if you can wear more form-fitting clothing, it's going to be best for you, because then you can see your form. Now, if you're not so interested in form, maybe you're not worried about getting deeper into your stretches or certain things, maybe you don't care about what it looks like, but it does really help you. Even something as simple as wearing a tank top, so we can make sure that you're not sticking your rib cage out, because that's a really big thing that we do. Instead of arching our backs, we overarch our rib cage out. So wearing more form-fitting clothes can help you and your teacher make sure that you're in the right form, but anything that's going to be comfortable. Of course, keep in mind that you may do poses that will make stuff go up, so you probably don't want loose shorts or anything, or if you have shorts, you might want to wear tights underneath. Same thing with a shirt. If you have a looser shirt, you might still want to wear a tank top or a camisole underneath.
Got it. And so I know we discussed possibly providing mats, but nothing has been confirmed. But what tools will they need if they decide to come to a yoga class?
Of course, a yoga mat is very useful. If you don't have a mat, you can use a towel. You can use a rug that you have at your house. But mats are really, really inexpensive nowadays. You could get them for $5 from Five Below. So that is the best way, I say, because you really have that. You're able to really plant your feet into it. A towel, because you may sweat. You want to keep your hands dry so that you can plant them into the ground, into the mat. Same thing with the soles of your feet. If you don't have on the yoga socks with have your toes separated, you may want to wipe your feet throughout if they get sweaty or if your mat gets sweaty, just so you can keep a good grip. A yoga strap, and I have one, but I don't have it next to me. I'll go grab it in a little while. But a yoga strap or a long scarf, just something that can give you more leverage, because if you can't go fully into a stretch, let's say we're doing a forward fold, you can take your strap or your scarf and put it around your feet and use that to bring yourself closer. You don't have to worry about bringing your hands to your legs or to your feet. Yoga blocks, once again, this will help. Sometimes you can't go down to the floor, but you can bring the floor up closer to you. So yoga blocks, if you don't have yoga blocks, then some heavy books, like even like a Bible or a dictionary, that will be helpful as well as a substitute. Pillows, cushions, bolsters, any of those things to help, you want to put some cushion under your sit bones when you're sitting in meditation. For poses that you can't fully get into, you may want to put a pillow underneath your knee, between your knees, to relieve pressure behind your head for certain poses. So a comfy blanket, because we do a laying meditation at the end of most yoga classes, so that is good. And then also, if you have one of those eye sleep masks, I get them from the Dollar Tree all the time. That's good for your shavasana, which is the last pose in yoga. That's where you do your laying meditation at the end of your session. So that just helps you once again tap in and really tune everything out around you and really get inward. Water, of course. Yeah. When you're doing anything, you want to have water to replenish you. And maybe a hair tie to tie your hair up.
Yeah, got it.
Of course, if you're practicing at home, you may want to light some candles or some incense. Just have the place smelling good, a nice environment, just so your brain won't be, what's that bad smell in here? Anything to make sure that you can stay as tapped into your practice as you can without thinking about everything around you.
Gotcha. And so that meditative part at the end, are you just having them later and you're talking them through it? Like, okay.
Well, Shavasana is a pose in yoga, and it's typically the last pose that any yoga teacher is going to do in any yoga class. And typically you're laying down just flat on your back. And sometimes the teachers will guide you through a meditation. Sometimes the teacher will just play meditative music or sound bath while you're doing it. For me, typically I'll do a sound bath or, play music, but more than anything, what I do at the end is a full body release. So I draw your attention to your toes and, pay attention to your toes and the arches of your feet and really tense them up and now release them and let them completely relax. And so we do that from, toe to head. So there's a full body, physical body can relax, and you can really get into that meditative state or whatever state that you want. Oftentimes people fall asleep in Shavasana in my classes. We have a lot of snorers.
Okay. Wow. So how long are you in that position then? Like how long are y'all holding?
It does depend. It does depend on what the flow of the practice is, because each practice is going to have a different flow unless we're introducing some sort of, series or some specific topic. So each class has a different flow. We may be in it for 5 minutes. We may be in it for 7 minutes. It may be a more meditative session, and we may want to be in Shavasana for 15 minutes. There are classes that I do called Yoga Nidra, which is, it just means yoga sleep, where we're in Shavasana pretty much the whole time.
Okay.
So it just varies. When you're doing a practice on your own, that's for you to decide. It's like the stretch at the end of your workout. You can go as long as you want, until you feel good, until you feel settled.
Gotcha. All right. So last question I have, you guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them and I'll post it on the screen and she can answer it for you. So last one, what are some good at-home resources to help those who just, want to start out a little bit before they go to a class? What would you recommend for them?
I would recommend, honestly, YouTube. Okay.
Okay.
If you're going to do yoga videos, I would
Uh-huh.
go to YouTube where they're free.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, because
Gotcha.
there are a lot that you can go and you can purchase, but no one's going to be there guiding you or giving you adjustments. So you're not getting much more from those than you are getting from the videos. One
Got it.
that I love is Yoga by Adrienne. Yoga
Okay.
with Adrienne on YouTube. She's really good. She has yoga videos for pretty much anything you want to do, any time length, any level of experience. Maybe you want a 10-minute wake up routine. Maybe you want a hip opener routine or a legs and thighs routine or a sleep. She has pretty much all of them.
Got it.
I have another one, Soul Technologies. She has more of the meditative. So if you wanted to get into the yoga nidra, the yogic sleep, the more meditative visual meditations,
Okay.
you can go to those. But Yoga Journal is a good website that you can go to find
Okay.
out more information. I think the best way to start practicing yoga is really just to start becoming aware throughout the
Okay.
day. Just tap yourself in. I know a lot of us have smart watches or anything. We have those breathing reminders. Next
Yeah.
time you do a breathing reminder, really focus on it. Close your eyes and just focus on every part of your breath, the inhale, the exhale, how it feels going in, how it feels coming out, the path of the air that it takes in through your nostrils, down your air tube, filling up your lungs. Just really, really pay attention to that. And once you start to do that, you'll realize, like, oh, tapping in, it isn't as hard as I think,
Gotcha.
And if you need some distractions, you can always, always, always practice your yoga. You can always, always go to Insight Timer. They have
Uh-huh.
meditations on there that you can do. It's a bunch of ways that you can practice at home. But my number one piece of advice for anyone who wants to get deeper into their yoga practice, especially a physical practice, is to get a teacher, an
Okay.
in-person teacher who can make sure that they're not building bad habits, because building bad habits when you're doing yoga can really, really be detrimental once you get more advanced into your poses. So if you're overarching your back when you're doing a forward fold, you're going to be overarching your back when you're doing an inversion, and then you can break your neck.
Ooh. Okay.
So you need to work on you need to get a teacher to really help you get those basics down before you decide to try to get more and more advanced into inversions, into deep stretches, into just to make sure that you're forming your alignment and that you really are tapping into that mind-body connection and not just tapping into the ego of wanting to get there.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, great advice. So you all, again, if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comment section. So we're about to get ready to close out. That was good. I can see the passion in you. Like, and I already knew that from talking with you, prior. And so, yeah, I'm excited, y'all. Like, I really didn't know about getting into yoga, but then again, like I said, I've been talking to so many patients. They're like, and I'm seeing, and I know it's not all about flexibility, but that mind body disconnection, and there is a lot of we don't stretch, we just don't. Like, we will work, we will lift weights, we will run, we will do all, but we will not drink water and stretch. Like,
you know how many men I talk to with muscles that are like, their arms are 6 times the size of my arm, just full
yes.
muscle. And I'm like, when is the last time you stretched? I know
Yeah.
I need to. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I know. And it's like it catches up with you, right? Like you lose that range of motion. But all right, so the announcement that I had for us, you guys. So we're going to make a tentative schedule, right? So June the 10th, which is a Saturday, we're going to say that's going to be our first class. Okay. Now this class, yes, all right. And the exciting part about it is it's donation only. If you just want to come and try yoga and you don't want to leave a penny, okay, come on in. We want to, see you. We want to just expose you to it to see if you like it. And we'll probably do that, I don't know, maybe a week or two. We'll see how it goes. But it will be located at Soaring Physical Therapy inside of the practice. We haven't set a time yet, but we're thinking early afternoon-ish time. And so we will post all that information on our social media, and just share it if you can. But we're really looking to get that class started on June the 10th, early afternoon, and super excited. So, yeah, again, I don't
I'm
see any
so
questions.
excited too.
I know, right? We've been talking about this since last year, by the way. Like it's been a minute, right? Yeah. So, so yeah, all right. So the time is here, and it's a great time. School is out. So,
Mm-hmm.
are y'all out? Are y'all done?
We are done tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. Got it.
I have officially retired from my teaching duties. My children are going to school next year. I'm so excited. Nobody got me a teacher appreciation gift. I just wanted to mention that.
Hold on.
They give me Mother's Day gifts, so
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they made up for Mother's Day. So wow, that's funny though. But yeah, she was homeschooling, so hats off to you for that. So
thank you. I officially have a middle schooler.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. All right.
But yes, I am very excited. If anyone has any questions, you can send them through Dr. Mister to me. Do you have my Instagram? I'll send all of my Instagram information as well. It's just at Glow Indigo Project. On Instagram as well. So if you guys have any questions, you're free to ask Dr. Mister or get in touch with me personally. I would love to answer any questions you have before our first class. I'll answer them during our class. I can stay a few minutes longer if you have additional questions. We really want to introduce yoga to you guys so that you can know exactly what to expect and you don't have to fear it anymore. This is, like we said, if you don't want to leave a dime, we will not be offended. This is our way to introduce it. And we will have additional classes as well. So if you can't make it to the first one, you will have other opportunities. But now is a really great time. It's warm outside. These muscles are already warm. So let's get them stretched.
Absolutely. All right, then. Thank you. And hope y'all at Sunread Physical Therapy Saturday on June the 10th. June the 10th. So we'll make a poster about it. We'll announce that. And that's it, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thanks again, Danielle.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Y'all.